My dear child, halt and let my voice fill the silence of your heart. This moment, right now, is the turning point of your destiny. A sacred pause where every second you linger in doubt is a second lost from the divine purpose I have laid out for you. I see the burdens you carry and the battles you fight in secret, and I promise you that the breakthrough you seek is closer than you ever imagined. Do not turn away. Remain with me until the very end of this message, for I am about to unveil promises that will transform your life forever. The time is now. Rise and step boldly into the victory that is already yours. Even now, in the realm you cannot see, there is movement. Angelic warriors stand at attention, poised to execute the will I have ordained for you. Archangel Michael, fierce and steadfast, leads them with a trumpet call that resonates through the corridors of eternity. They do not march aimlessly. They are guided by my command, unshaken by any power that would attempt to oppose their divine assignment. They move in perfect unity, like the wind blowing across a still lake, carrying forward only that which is aligned with my sovereign plan. Let peace settle upon you, my child, for you are not overlooked. Your story has always mattered to me. Each chapter carries the potential for redemptive grace and startling breakthroughs. I hear your silent cries in the late hours of the night, and I watch as you grapple with the tension between hope and despair. Trust that I am weaving a tapestry far more intricate than you can imagine. No moment of your struggle is wasted. Every tear, every plea, every trembling prayer forms a part of the greater masterpiece I am crafting with divine precision. Even when you believe you have strayed from the path of your calling, I assure you that nothing can separate you from the warmth of my presence. I have placed in you a spark of light that no darkness can smother. That spark may flicker when the winds of adversity blow, yet it endures, persistently waiting for the fresh wind of my spirit to fan it into a brilliant flame. Do not condemn yourself for moments of weakness. They are occasions for my strength to become evident in ways that will draw many to me. Embrace these weaknesses, knowing I delight in turning frailty into unparalleled testimonies of my love. Prepare your heart for a turning point, one that can occur without warning. Where others see a barren landscape, I envision a lush field teeming with blossoms and new life. It may arise through a chance encounter or a simple act of kindness at the exact moment your soul needs it most. Even the smallest shift in your circumstances can herald the dawn of a wonder you once believed impossible. So hold fast to expectation, for miracles often enter with the gentlest whisper before echoing through every corner of your life. Do not be disheartened if you feel you have no grand position or public platform. In my kingdom, the unseen prayers offered in the secret room carry weight that transcends earthly status. Your quiet devotion, your persistent cry for my intervention, shakes the spiritual realm more profoundly than you realize. Heaven's armies respond to genuine faith, not social prestige. Stand on this truth. If your heart is yielded to me, not one of your prayers will ever return void. Rest, my child, in the knowledge that I have orchestrated this season to align your heart with my heart. Though external changes are vital signs of my movement, the greatest transformation occurs within you, where your spirit learns to lean into me without reservation. When you surrender your concerns, your fears, and your limitations into my capable hands, you release the fullness of heaven's resources to operate in your life. Let this not be a fleeting surrender, but a continual offering of your every burden. When you cast your cares upon me, you are not abandoning them to emptiness, but entrusting them to the one who shaped the universe with a mere word. Rejoice then, for the moment of unveiling draws near, and when you do behold even a glimpse of what I have prepared, may your heart erupt in praise as the fullness of my glory rushes in. My treasured one, consider how a seed, buried in darkness and surrounded by soil, gradually finds the strength to push upward into the light. In the same way, I see your soul striving, yearning to break free from layers of discouragement and the weight of doubts that threaten to stifle your potential. Know that I have not abandoned you in this process. You are precisely where you must be, for the breath of my spirit to breathe new life into every dormant seed of promise within you. Trust this process, for the darkest place is often the womb of unimaginable new beginnings. Open your heart anew to the gentle whispers of hope. Even if you see no outward indicators that your situation is changing, I am still on the move. Often, my greatest works remain hidden until the perfect moment, emerging much like dawn overtaking the night. Wait with patience and keep your eyes attentive to the subtle signs, for I love to show my faithfulness in ways that remove all doubt of my hand at work. What you have called an impasse may yet be the doorway to boundless expansion. Archangel Michael stands beside you as a guardian of these unspoken promises. His sword gleams with heavenly fire, striking down the accusations that attempt to invade your mind in the lonely hours. Though you cannot perceive the warfare in the spirit realm, rest assured that each of your earnest prayers becomes a clarion call for angelic intervention. They rally with fervor, pressing back the shadows so that the fullness of my kingdom can manifest around you. Even in your unassuming acts of faith, such as a whispered prayer or a single tear, there is power to summon a battalion of heavenly hosts on your behalf. Remember that I am not constrained by the frameworks of time or by human logic. When I say a season of miracles approaches, it is not a vague possibility, but a concrete reality, poised to unveil itself in your day-to-day experience. Do not measure the speed of my intervention with your limited perspective. An apparent delay is often an interval for deeper alignment, a space for your faith to deepen its roots so that when your miracle appears, it remains an enduring testimony rather than a fleeting occurrence. Hold firmly to the knowledge that your life contains chapters yet unwritten. Many times you have imagined that certain opportunities are lost forever, but with me, no path is so ruined that it cannot be repaved. I specialize in turning burdens into blessings, heartbreak into wholeness, and lost causes into revelations of triumph. Let your spirit be buoyed by this truth. I still write stories of redemption in every generation, and yours is in my hands this very moment. There will be moments when the loneliness feels acute, and you wonder if your prayers echo in a vast emptiness. Still, I promise you that each word uttered from a sincere heart reverberates throughout the heavens. Not a single syllable falls to the ground unheard. I collect your tears as precious treasure, storing them in the sanctuary of my love. They may seem inconsequential in your sight, yet I use them to water the roots of the miracle I am cultivating in your life. Let humility guide your steps. It is a noble thing to acknowledge that you cannot achieve these breakthroughs by your own power. When you bow your heart in humble recognition of your dependence on me, it allows the floodgates of my grace to open wide. I draw near to those who are lowly in spirit, those who know that genuine victory springs from total reliance on my spirit. True humility is not self-loathing. It is a posture that makes room for my strength to enter, ensuring that when triumph comes, all glory redirects to me. Rejoice in advance, for your tomorrow is filled with the fragrance of renewal. As you embrace the unfolding wonder of what I have prepared, you will see that every obstacle you faced was an invitation to trust me more deeply. My cherished child, do you understand that even the quiet desires you have never uttered are visible to me? There is no corner of your heart that remains hidden from the one who crafted you in secret. You may have unspoken yearnings, dreams so fragile you fear to voice them, yet they resound like a sweet melody in my ears. I am able to nurture those desires, transforming them from whispered hopes into radiant realities. Never assume that a longing is too small or too large to capture my attention, for I care about every detail that shapes your journey. Life often presses you to conform, pushing you to chase after goals that distract from the treasures I have stored specifically for you. Stay anchored in me, and I will gently guide you to the streams of living water designed to refresh your soul. When chaos surrounds you and you feel the pressures of meeting others' expectations, remember that true peace comes when your identity rests in me alone. I fashioned your uniqueness with intent. I placed within you gifts that no one else can express in precisely the same way. Let these gifts blossom for my glory. In them, you will find joyful purpose. Be vigilant, though, for discouragement lurks in the shadows, seeking to obscure my promises. When you feel fear encroaching, visualize Archangel Michael standing guard, his presence aglow with the intensity of heaven's own brilliance. He carries my command to shield you from influences that aim to corrode your trust. At times you will sense the weight of a spiritual battle, particularly in the realm of your thoughts. Yet know that Michael and his legions do not tire or falter. Their mission is to uphold my decrees in your life, ensuring that every chain that once shackled you must break before the power of the Most High. Let your eyes open to the subtle shifts in your atmosphere. An unexpected phone call, a door that was abruptly opened, or a seemingly random introduction may all be signs of my activity on your behalf. While you might be tempted to dismiss such occurrences as coincidences, be assured that I excel in orchestrating remarkable events beneath the veneer of the ordinary. Trust not only in my ability to do the extraordinary, but also in my willingness to do so for you. Doubt has no place where my covenant of love stands as an eternal testament to my unwavering loyalty. Moreover, cultivate gratitude with each breath. Thankfulness is the lens through which you recognize divine fingerprints in daily events. When you train your spirit to see even the tiniest blessings, you become acutely aware of the grand tapestry I am weaving. This awareness sets your heart ablaze with anticipation, for the one who provides in small measures can likewise move mountains in an instant. Use each moment of gratitude to remind yourself that I am near, that my heart is inclined toward you, and that your future is illumined by the light of my promise. When storms attempt to ravage your peace, hold fast to the knowledge that I remain unchanging in the midst of turbulence. Like an anchor securing a ship against raging winds, my presence grounds you in unwavering truth. Focus on my voice above the roar of the tempest, for I speak calmness into chaos and bring order to confusion. Let my voice be the melody that settles your soul, reminding you that you are supported by a Father who never fails. Embrace your vulnerabilities. They are not a sign of weakness, but a conduit for my power to manifest. In moments when you feel ill-equipped, remember that I have chosen you for such times, precisely because I intend to display my glory through your life. Never forget, the greatest testimonies often arise from the most improbable vessels, so that all who witness them see a reflection of my grace, rather than the strength of human effort. Thus, keep an open heart. Let hope guide you through the uncertainty of these hours. Listen for my whispers in every quiet interlude, and rest in the certainty that I am orchestrating something magnificent, not only for you, but also for every soul connected to your story. My beloved one, pause for a moment and consider the reality of destiny. You are neither an accident of nature nor a mere wanderer in a faceless crowd. I have drawn the boundaries of your existence with intention, placing you in this generation to shine with a purpose unique to you alone. When you doubt your significance, recall that I have numbered the hairs on your head, illustrating the depths of my attention to every facet of your being. Such meticulous care is not wasted on the inconsequential. You are profoundly cherished in my sight. At times you look back on past mistakes and allow guilt to overshadow your sense of worth. Hear me clearly. My forgiveness is an ocean that drowns every shortfall, and my mercy is renewed with each dawn. I do not define you by the errors you lament, but by the potential I placed within you before you ever drew breath. Let your heart shed the weight of condemnation. Cling instead to the redemption that cost me dearly, yet I offered freely for your sake. In releasing shame, you make room for my spirit to reveal a profound depth of joy. Surrender is the gentle posture of a soul at peace. When you relinquish your grip on what you cannot control, you create space for me to direct your path in ways that far surpass your limited planning. This act of yielding is not a defeat, but an elevation, a repositioning that aligns you with a higher perspective and a more exalted purpose. My hand can carry you through the fiercest storm, but I desire your trust more than the fleeting illusions of self-sufficiency. It is in the humility of surrender that miracles often find fertile ground to flourish. Archangel Michael, a champion of justice, stands ready with flaming sword to defend the new territory I am unveiling for you. He does not grow weary, nor does he question my instructions, for he serves with absolute devotion. When the adversary tries to erect barricades in your mind, telling you that you will never overcome, never achieve, never see my promises come to fruition, Michael and his host respond swiftly, dismantling every lie that stands in opposition to my truth. You are under divine protection, not just from external harm, but also from the crippling beliefs that would thwart your progress. The world around you may shift from seasons of abundance to times of scarcity, yet my faithfulness remains as constant as the sunrise. I am your rock, your fortress, and your unshakable pillar, no matter the shifting sands of culture or circumstance. When you understand this, you stand in a confidence that transcends logic and stabilizes your soul in the swirl of daily challenges. Circumstances will not dictate your identity. I alone define you as a beloved child, endowed with purpose and drawn into my everlasting embrace. Speak life into your own situation. Reject the cynical words that would sow despair, for your own declarations have power. When you proclaim my goodness over your life, you align your spirit with heaven's perspective, dismantling the strongholds of negativity. Words shape realities, just as my words shaped creation in the beginning. Use them wisely to pave a path of expectation for the breakthroughs I have destined. Keep in mind that grace and growth go hand in hand. The transformations I bring may be immediate, or they may unfold gradually, like a flower opening in stages beneath the gentle rays of sunlight. No matter the pace, each step is infused with my divine touch, designed to deepen your character and enlarge your capacity to reflect my love. Celebrate every minor progress, for small beginnings often hide the seeds of monumental triumph. Through each increment of growth, you inch closer to the fullness of joy I want for you. Treasure these truths in your heart, just as a gardener carefully protects seeds to ensure they bear fruit in due season. Your time of harvest is coming, and with it a revelation of just how intimately I have guided your every footstep. My precious child, human eyes can fail to see the undercurrents that shape the tides of destiny, but I discern them all. I notice when you flinch under the weight of unkind words, or when you question whether your life carries lasting significance. I assure you that in my kingdom, no gift or act of faith is wasted. Even your most modest acts of obedience have a ripple effect that touches lives you may never meet. Place your confidence in this reality. Your existence is a thread woven into the grand tapestry of redemption. In times past, you may have witnessed small glimpses of my power, tiny bursts of favor that sparked fleeting hope. But let me remind you that such flickers were only the opening notes of a far more symphonic revelation. I take delight in surprises that leave you breathless, in wonders that shatter the constraints of unbelief. Consider that your future can hold wonders your present mind can scarcely envision. Allow yourself to dream again, for imagination untainted by cynicism is fertile ground for miracles. Archangel Michael is not alone in his steadfast protection. He is accompanied by a myriad of angels, each with a specific mandate tied to my promises over your life. Some pave paths through the desert where no paths existed before, while others stand as sentinels of hope in places you deemed hopeless. They fight not merely against darkness, but also to preserve the seeds of faith planted in your heart. With every hallelujah you speak, they surge forward, empowered by the chorus of praise that resonates through heaven. A part of you might fear hoping too much, lest disappointment strike once more. Yet I call you to fearless expectation. Disappointment is not the final word. For I am the one who transforms ashes into beauty, who fashions a garment of praise where despair once reigned. Do not let past delays or denials hinder you from believing in the newness I bring forth daily. Season after season, my faithfulness endures, forging roads in the wilderness and rivers in parched lands. View your prayers not as uncertain pleas cast into an indifferent cosmos, but as seeds sown into my eternal garden, each carrying potential for abundant fruit. Even when you do not witness immediate change, rest in the certainty that every uttered petition is alive in my presence. In the fullness of time, these seeds will burst forth, manifesting breakthroughs and revelations that glorify my name. Keep praying with sincerity, for these spiritual seeds are nurtured by my grace and guarded by angelic hosts. When your heart grows weary and your voice falters, recall the unwavering nature of my love. Love is my very essence, poured out freely, never shrinking from your pain or dismay. When your own strength wanes, rest in the truth that I am your unfailing supply. I stand ready to reinforce your inner being with divine might, infusing you with courage to face challenges that once seemed insurmountable. In those moments, you will sense the gentle shift from self-reliance to trusting in the unstoppable flow of my spirit. Never assume that your greatest triumphs are confined to your past. I am the eternal I am, dwelling simultaneously in your yesterday, your today, and your tomorrow. My capacity to astonish has not diminished. If you remain open to receiving, you will find that the coming days can eclipse anything you have previously known of my goodness. The greatest transformations often unfold when you dare to believe that I am able to exceed the loftiest of your dreams. Stand firm, beloved one, and remember that your life is an epic under divine authorship. What appears to be a detour may be the avenue of extraordinary grace. My beloved child, pause to reflect on the nature of true belonging. You have never been a stranger to me. From the time your soul was formed, I have held you in unwavering affection. Though the trials of living in a broken world may attempt to obscure my nearness, I promise you that I am closer than the breath you draw. When you doubt whether anyone truly sees or understands you, remember that I have searched your innermost thoughts and known every fiber of your being. There are moments when shame entangles you, convincing you to hide in the corners of your own heart. But do not be afraid of my gaze, for I do not peer at you through the eyes of condemnation. I look upon you with the tenderness of a potter shaping clay, delighting in the potential you carry. If you allow my hands to mold you, you will discover that vulnerability is not a liability, but an invitation to deeper intimacy with me. Lift your perspective, my child, for I am unveiling new horizons. Your eyes have long been fixed on the ground beneath you, wary of stumbling over the stones of past regrets. Yet if you would lift your chin and look to the path I illuminate ahead, you would see the footprints of angels clearing obstacles before you. Archangel Michael stands at the forefront, forging a way through terrains once deemed impassable. He wields the sword of truth to sever every root of deception that might take hold of your heart. Revel in the knowledge that your prayers resonate through the celestial realms. What you utter in the secret place stirs the heart of heaven, aligning earthly realities with my inexhaustible reservoir of power. Never underestimate the potency of fervent, faith-filled petitions. They can shift entire regions, tearing down strongholds and establishing a divine order that nurtures love, compassion, and holiness. Your voice, joined in unity with my spirit, becomes a catalyst for supernatural transformation. If you feel estranged or isolated, be assured that isolation is never my will for you. I created humanity for community, both with me and with one another. Bring your burdens into the fellowship of believers who stand with arms linked, supporting and encouraging each other. Unity in my name unleashes an incomparable synergy, a force that can topple giants of injustice, prejudice, and despair. Together, my children can radiate a light that dispels even the thickest darkness. Be watchful, for I often use unexpected events or relationships to reawaken your sense of wonder. What you might label an interruption could be the very avenue through which I plan to pour fresh hope into your spirit. At times, I answer prayers in ways that appear completely unlike what you had imagined. Yet upon reflection, you will see the brilliance of my plan. Train your heart to see beyond appearances, trusting that I labor behind every curtain, weaving each thread into a narrative of redemption. When doubt attempts to sway you from your calling, refocus on the reality of my unchanging character. I am the God of continuity, the same one who breathed life into the first sunrise and orchestrated the resurrection of your deepest aspiration. Amid the flux of human decision-making and the uncertainties of life, my constancy is a safe harbor for your soul. Let your faith rest upon the rock of that immovable stability. Rejoice, dear child, for the fullness of your destiny spans farther than your eyes can perceive. As you remain faithful in small acts of obedience, you pave the way for extraordinary displays of my glory. My precious one, let us speak now of healing, both of the heart and of the body, for I know how deeply you yearn to be whole. Though physical ailments or emotional wounds threaten to overwhelm, my hand is never shortened that it cannot save. I hold in my power the capacity to mend bones, restore cells, and infuse minds with renewed vitality. Even in prolonged afflictions, I work tirelessly to bring about a greater degree of wholeness that transcends the body and reaches into the deepest layers of your spirit. Archangel Michael, accompanied by those angels tasked with ministering healing grace, stands ready to guard your pathways to recovery. Their presence encircles you even when you feel most vulnerable, ensuring that no destructive force can claim victory over you without my explicit allowance. In the times when you wonder why the process lingers, remember that I see eternities while you see moments. I orchestrate every cell of your being in harmonious order, and sometimes the slow unveiling of recovery serves a divine purpose you cannot yet comprehend. Know also that healing of the heart is equally precious to me. Scars from betrayal, words that cut deeply, and experiences of profound loss can imprint themselves upon your soul. Yet I, the great physician of the unseen realms, am more than capable of restoring your innermost being. I breathe life where hopelessness once thrived, bringing comfort that defies circumstance. Through the warmth of my love, I replace sorrow with renewed vision, forging faith from the embers of discouragement. There is power in relinquishing control. When you place your desire for healing in my hands, it becomes a seed of faith that my goodness waters. This seed does not vanish but germinates in the soil of trust, growing roots that anchor you even if outward symptoms persist. Gradually, you will witness sprouts of joy, peace, and inner resilience that stand as living testimonies of my abiding power. In your weakness, my strength is perfected, demonstrating that no pain is beyond the scope of my compassion. Sorrow may linger for a night, but I promise that joy arrives in the morning of a surrendered heart. Your tears are not wasted. They are the raindrops that prepare the soil for a future harvest of gratitude. When you persevere through trials, you become an example of hope for those who watch from the sidelines, yearning for evidence that I still work wonders in this age. Your journey is never in isolation. It reverberates in the hearts of those who witness your faithfulness. Think of the tapestry I am creating, each thread representing a moment in your life, some bright and others dark, woven together in a pattern that ultimately shines with my grace. Even threads of suffering have a role, adding contrast that amplifies the vibrancy of redemption. In the completeness of eternity, every tear and every laugh become crucial elements of a grand design that displays my love in a million shades. In the present, you may not see it clearly, but the day approaches when you will marvel at the masterpiece I have formed. Rejoice, not just in the physical restoration that you eagerly await, but in the unwavering truth that my mercies never fail. Whether your body is mended today or in some future moment, cling to the promise that I hold you firmly, and my faithfulness to you spans beyond mortal breath. My dear child, walk with me now into the realm of provision, where the seeming impossibilities of your current situation collide with the limitless resources of heaven. Too often, the world conditions you to view lack as an unchangeable reality, but I invite you to perceive a higher truth. The storehouses of heaven are brimming, and I do not ration my kindness. I am eager to meet your needs in ways that transcend mere survival. I aim to reveal my abundant nature so you can share generously with others. Archangel Michael and his warriors engage not only in defending you from spiritual assaults, but also in facilitating breakthroughs of provision. They remove obstacles, be they bureaucratic snarls, hardened hearts, or misguided perspectives, that impede you from receiving my gifts. With swords of light, they slice through the tangles of scarcity, ensuring the channels remain open for blessings to flow. Although these angelic maneuvers remain invisible to physical sight, their impact manifests in timely opportunities, unexpected partnerships, and sudden shifts that dissolve the seemingly impossible barriers. Never assume you must toil in isolation, bearing the entire weight of your burdens. When you entreat me in faith, acknowledging your dependence, you create a sacred space for my provision to enter. Then, as manna fell in the wilderness, so too will I supply your needs. Sometimes it appears through quiet means, a sudden idea that sparks a new income path, or through grand gestures that leave you speechless. Either way, rejoice that my hand is not slack and my generosity is not reserved only for a select few. Keep your heart open, for I might choose unconventional avenues to bless you. In each scenario, trust that I have orchestrated every detail with impeccable timing and thorough foresight. If I allow a delay, it is not to torment you, but to sharpen your discernment and cultivate perseverance. Your part is to remain steadfast, anticipating my movement without succumbing to despair. In the tension between your request and my fulfillment lies the fertile ground where your faith matures. Generosity begets generosity. When blessings flow into your life, they are not meant to be hoarded, but shared. A heart that overflows with gratitude becomes a conduit for my love, channeling resources to those who need them. As you sow into others, you partner with me in lighting up the darkness and mending broken places. In giving, you mirror my nature, for I have always been the great giver, pouring my essence into creation for its flourishing. Beware the temptation to measure my provision solely by material gain. True abundance also includes relationships that edify, opportunities that stretch your capacity, and revelations that bring clarity to confusion. Sometimes I answer your requests not with money, but with wisdom that prevents future missteps, or with relationships that open doors far more valuable than finances alone. Look beyond the surface, and you will discern the marvelous tapestry of blessings I weave every day. So posture your life to receive. Thank me in the waiting, praising me for the outcome, even before it appears. Such proactive gratitude accelerates the alignment of heavenly purposes, drawing the reality of my kingdom closer to your present circumstances. Let your mouth declare, I trust that the one who clothes lilies and feeds sparrows will never forget me. And so, in that confession of confidence, you step into a reality shaped by my unwavering care. Rejoice, for the same God who sustained a multitude with bread and fish longs to sustain you as well, ensuring that you lack no good thing. My beloved child, let us explore the deeper currents of divine calling, for I have placed within you a destiny that extends beyond your personal victories. Your life is meant to be a shining lamp, guiding others through the shadows of confusion into the safe haven of my truth. When you doubt your capacity, recall that I equip those I call, draping them in the wisdom and fortitude needed for the mission at hand. You need not fear inadequacy. Simply remain open to my guidance, and I will amplify your abilities to fulfill each divine appointment. Archangel Michael stands as a symbol of unwavering commitment, mirroring the same resolute devotion I desire to see flourish in you. His willingness to act without hesitation mirrors how I want you to engage with the promptings of my spirit. When you sense my nudge, do not delay in responding. Obedience in small matters cultivates trust in larger spheres. eventually paving a road for your influence to grow. Through each faithful step, you expand the boundary lines of my kingdom, making space for more souls to experience hope. You may question why I would choose someone with your flaws or past mistakes, but my ways are higher. In the tapestry of grace, I often use the least likely to accomplish the most profound. Not to celebrate the person, but to display my transformative power. Let go of your insecurities, for I am the potter shaping your vessel. Those cracks in your past become outlets for my light, proving that redemption is not just theory but reality embodied in you. Focus on nurturing the seeds of perseverance, for every God-given dream encounters turbulence. When obstacles arise, interpret them not as reasons to turn back, but as invitations to press in deeper. My grace is always sufficient, especially when your own strength finds its limit. In such moments, your reliance on me fortifies the spiritual muscles of endurance, guaranteeing you finish your race with unshakable resolve. Furthermore, recognize the synergy between your calling and the gifts of those around you. The kingdom thrives when believers unite, each offering distinct talents to form a tapestry of service. Isolation leads to stagnation, while collaboration yields unstoppable momentum. Resist the temptation to compare yourself with others. Comparison dilutes your unique contribution. Instead, celebrate the variety of giftings, for each is vital to building the living temple of my presence on earth. Guard your heart from pride, for success can sometimes feed an illusion of sufficiency. Never forget that every open door, every victory, and every ounce of influence flows from my hand. Remain grounded in gratitude, allowing humility to shield your spirit from corruption. Then your light will not only shine brightly, but also lead many to praise me, the source of your strength and favor. Stand firm in faith, refusing to yield to the notion that your dreams are unattainable. I specialize in calling the improbable into reality, in birthing monumental changes through those considered insignificant. Let your ambition be sanctified by a higher purpose, loving me and serving others with compassionate fervor. As you fulfill this divine calling, you will taste the fullness of life, an existence permeated by eternal significance. Rejoice, for the vision planted in your heart is not for you alone. It is a gift to the world, illuminating the path for countless lives. My dear child, let us speak now of courage, for your soul must rise above the fears that threaten to confine you. Courage is more than raw bravery. It is trusting in my sovereign goodness, despite circumstances that seem insurmountable. You may find yourself trembling on the brink of a decision that could alter your life's trajectory. Know that my spirit stands ever ready to reinforce your resolve, infusing you with a boldness anchored in perfect love. Archangel Michael exemplifies the essence of fearlessness as he stands guard over your future. Unwavering in the face of darkness, he does not fight alone. Entire battalions of heavenly beings align with him, each assigned to watch over those who will inherit salvation. This spiritual reality remains even when your eyes cannot perceive it. Belief in the unseen fosters a powerful confidence, reminding you that you navigate each challenge upheld by an invisible yet unstoppable force. Remember that fear, when granted too much space, can grow like a weed, choking out the blossoms of faith. To overcome it, saturate your mind with the truths of my word. My promises serve as seeds of hope, blossoming into unstoppable conviction. What you feed your spirit determines the fruit you bear. Feed it discouragement, and despair will flourish. Feed it my truth, and courage will arise, leading you to scale mountains once deemed impossible. Embrace your human vulnerability without letting it define you. Yes, you are human, prone to doubts and anxieties, but you are also an heir to a divine covenant that supersedes mortal limitation. I have made a promise never to abandon you, to be your fortress in adversity and your safe hiding place in the turmoil of life. This promise is not reserved for special occasions. It is woven into the tapestry of daily existence, accessible at all times. When you face situations that exceed your natural abilities, consider it an invitation to partner with my supernatural capacities. Your weaknesses become the staging ground for my interventions, revealing that a power beyond yourself operates through you. Thus, no obstacle remains purely natural. It carries the potential to be overshadowed by divine influence. Step forth in faith, for your mighty Father stands behind every leap you take, ensuring you do not stumble beyond recovery. Additionally, cultivate spiritual discernment, for not every opportunity is a door I have opened. Learn to distinguish the narrow path of my leading from the wide avenues that could lead to distraction or harm. Speak with me, wait on me, and check the peace in your heart before proceeding. When your steps are guided by heaven's counsel, you walk in alignment, shielded from pitfalls that might derail your destiny. Take time to celebrate small acts of bravery. A single step taken in faith can set a chain reaction in motion, drawing more grace into your life. I do not expect you to conquer all fears at once, only to move forward with the strength I supply in each moment. Then you will see how my hand steadily expands your capacity, making you a beacon of hope for others wrestling with their own anxieties. Rejoice, for your future is not a canvas painted by fear, but by the vibrant hues of courage and divine presence, reflecting the unwavering commitment of the one who calls you by name. My beloved child, I now wish to impart a revelation about the authority you possess in prayer. Many times you approach me in timid whispers, not fully confident that your words carry the potency to shift mountains. Yet I remind you, the prayers of the righteous avail much, unleashing cosmic ripples that can transform families, societies, and even nations. When you speak in accordance with my will, heaven and earth converge in holy agreement. Archangel Michael responds decisively whenever you pray with genuine faith. He and his company of warriors stand at attention, waiting for the signal that your heart has aligned with my purposes. Such alignment is not found in eloquence, but in sincerity and humility. Once they perceive this union, they surge forth, breaking demonic strongholds and neutralizing spiritual blockades in a blaze of righteous victory. Believe, dear one, that your prayers have cosmic significance, for I have ordained you to be a co-laborer in the harvest of souls. Consider the stories of old, where a single prophet's words halted the rain or called down fire upon drenched altars. That same spirit works in you. I do not demand that you replicate those exact scenarios, but I long for you to grasp the enormity of what heartfelt prayer can accomplish. When you pray, you step into a timeless partnership with the Almighty, bridging temporal realities with eternal truths. Stay alert, because spiritual warfare intensifies when you begin to intercede passionately. Do not be discouraged if opposition flares. Such resistance often indicates you are on the threshold of a breakthrough. In those moments, recall the shield of faith and the sword of the Spirit, the word I have placed in your mouth. Refuse to retreat. Press onward, recognizing that every push forward can free countless souls from chains of deception. Fasting, too, can be a potent weapon, sharpening your spiritual senses to discern my voice above the noise of daily life. When you deny yourself physically, you open corridors in the spiritual realm, allowing my grace to flow uninhibited. It is not about earning my favor, but rather removing distractions that keep you from deeper intimacy with me. In that place of focus, you will hear my directives more clearly, receiving strategic insights that unlock blessings for you and those for whom you pray. Establish altars of remembrance, writing down answered prayers as tangible markers of my faithfulness. Such records become living testimonies you can revisit when new challenges arise. They reinforce the knowledge that I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Let gratitude follow each breakthrough, for a heart that thanks me continuously remains pliable in my hands. In that ongoing posture of thankfulness, your prayers become even more potent. Never allow self-condemnation to silence you. My grace is sufficient, covering your frailties so that your communion with me remains uninterrupted. If you stumble, Repent quickly and return to me with renewed resolve, for the enemy delights in persuading you that you are unworthy to approach me. Remember that the blood of my sacrifice is your qualification, ensuring your prayers land on my ears like fragrant incense. Rejoice then in this majestic inheritance. Your intercession is not a futile exercise, but a powerful synergy with the divine, shaping destinies and unraveling darkness wherever it is sent. My child of promise, let me unfold another facet of your journey, the role of wisdom. While faith fuels the miraculous, wisdom ensures sustainability. I have blessed you with intellect and discernment so that you can navigate life not as one floundering in a maze, but as a co-creator guided by divine insight. Seek my counsel daily, for I delight in imparting clarity to those who earnestly ask. Do not segregate practical decisions from spiritual ones. All of life's choices converge in the realm of my dominion. Archangel Michael, though a warrior, also carries the flame of my insight. He stands as a beacon that illuminates hidden snares, exposing the cunning schemes that try to mislead you. He does not operate solely in brute force. He also orchestrates precise strategies to dismantle the enemy's intricate plans. In the same manner, I offer you strategy in every dimension of your life: relationships, finance, ministry, and even personal development. Those who walk in my counsel need never fear the gloom of uncertainty, for my light is perpetually available. Cherish the fact that wisdom grows through communion with me. Immerse yourself in my word, allowing its life-giving truths to shape your thought patterns. As you meditate on the sacred scriptures, you feed your spirit with the bread of heaven, renewing your mind to see each situation through eternal perspective. Such renewal is key to transforming your instincts so they align with my perfect will. In a world full of conflicting voices, my word remains the anchor that holds you steady. My wisdom never seeks to stifle creativity or spontaneity. Rather, it channels them so they contribute to a greater tapestry of order and purpose. Artistic expression, innovation, and brilliant ideas can all spring from the well of divine understanding. I take pleasure in seeing you thrive in every aspect of who I created you to be. When your gifts harmonize with heavenly direction, your life resonates with unstoppable momentum and grace. Be wary of leaning solely on human logic. Though intellect is a gift, if it becomes divorced from my counsel, it can be swayed by fear, pride, or narrow-minded thinking. Allow me to breathe life into your intellect, sanctifying it so that it becomes a conduit for heavenly solutions in earthly contexts. Yes, gather knowledge and seek to understand, but never forget that the final blueprint must come from the master architect. Observe how nature functions. The seasons follow their appointed times, the tides respond to the moon, and birds migrate with unerring precision. All creation thrives under the wisdom of my design. If you, fashioned in my image, walk in alignment with that cosmic harmony, you will partake in blessings that overflow in your sphere of influence. Your life will bear witness to an all-encompassing intelligence guiding your steps, turning complexities into opportunities for my glory to be revealed. Rejoice, dear one, for the keys of wisdom await your grasp. As you embrace them, you will unlock doors that lead to realms of purpose, innovation, and supernatural peace, testifying to a creator who orchestrates all things with impeccable mastery. My beloved child, let us linger on the theme of unity within the body of believers. For no one stands alone in this divine narrative. I created you to flourish in relationship, to share in joys and sorrows, so that burdens are lighter and victories are sweeter. In genuine fellowship, hearts are knit together, forging a bond that draws strength from my spirit. Seek out spiritual companions who share your passion for truth, for such alliances form embankments against the floods of discouragement. Archangel Michael and his armies exemplify perfect unity, operating in a synchronized manner that leaves no room for chaos. Each angel recognizes its position and carries out its function without envy or rivalry. I desire that you too would mirror this heavenly unity on earth. Envy fractures relationships, while humility and love weave strong cords of fellowship. When believers dwell in harmony, they create a sanctuary where my presence manifests powerfully. Understand that offense can quickly erode unity. Take proactive steps to guard against bitterness, for unresolved hurt grows like a toxin in the soul. Where wrongs occur, address them with grace and empathy, seeking reconciliation rather than harboring resentment. I bless peacemakers, for they reflect the heart of my kingdom, a realm built on love, mercy, and compassion. Mend rifts promptly so that the radiant light of unity remains undimmed by conflict. Serving one another is a catalyst for supernatural breakthroughs. When you set aside personal gain to help another, you touch the core of my heart. Great miracles often occur in the atmosphere of sacrificial love. As you pour yourself out for the sake of someone else's healing or provision, you align with the very essence of my mission. And in this alignment, the impossible becomes entirely possible. Learn to pray corporately, for there is exponential power in collective intercession. Just as a single candle can illuminate a small room, many candles together can brighten an entire city. Gather with fellow believers who hunger for my presence, merging your faith to create a spiritual beacon that repels darkness. In such assemblies, I pour out fresh anointing, granting gifts and revelations that transform individuals, families, and entire communities. Keep your eyes open for divine appointments in the most ordinary of spaces. A conversation at a coffee shop, a shared meal with a neighbor, or a brief exchange with a coworker can become a channel of grace if you remain sensitive to my whispers. Your readiness to bless and encourage can redirect someone's life path. You never fully know the extent of my purposes behind each encounter, so stay attuned and be willing to represent my love at all times. In unity, your individual gifts find expression without overshadowing others. You dance to the rhythm of my spirit, each believer contributing distinct notes, harmonizing into a collective anthem that enthralls heaven and resounds across the earth. This unity, fueled by love, trust, and forgiveness, is a fortress against the schemes of the adversary. It is a fortress that stands tall because it is built on the cornerstone of my eternal nature, love. Rejoice, dear child, for when believers unite, they reflect the glory of the triune God. Through their oneness, the world encounters a tangible display of divine compassion and learns that the gospel is more than words. It is a living testament of grace. My precious child, let us delve into the holy act of worship. Worship is not restricted to music or ceremonious acts. It is the posture of your heart when you exalt me above every other attachment. In worship, you acknowledge that I am your all in all, your source and endpoint. This acknowledgement shapes your identity, lifts your burdens, and ushers in an atmosphere conducive to miracles. When you worship with sincerity, your spirit ascends to realms where my glory illuminates even the darkest recesses of your circumstances. Archangel Michael and the angels around my throne perpetually proclaim praise, echoing the reality of my holiness. He stands, sword by his side, not merely as a defender, but also as a participant in the cosmic chorus extolling my majesty. When you join that eternal song, your worship resonates with the praise of celestial beings, bridging heaven and earth in a sacred dance of adoration. In times of trouble, worship becomes a potent weapon. Your praises shatter the gloom of despair, reminding you and every spiritual force listening that I reign supreme. Chains break in an environment saturated with truth, for the enemy cannot abide the presence of genuine adoration directed toward me. Thus, you do more than sing or speak words. You shift atmospheres, stirring hope in places previously overshadowed by gloom. Yet worship need not only arise from crisis. Let it be woven into the rhythm of daily life. In your morning routines, in the hush of evening reflections, and in the intervals of busy afternoons. Such consistent devotion fosters an unbroken communion, ensuring your heart remains tender and responsive to my voice. Your outward expressions of gratitude and reverence transform mundane tasks into sacred offerings. Allow me to dismantle the idols of distraction that compete for your devotion. Career, finances, relationships, though blessings, must not overshadow your ultimate pursuit, the pursuit of my presence. In me, you discover the wellspring of peace, identity, and destiny that no worldly success can replicate. When your heart is aligned with me, everything else finds its rightful place, illuminated by the light of my love. Reflect on how worship both humbles and elevates you. It humbles you by reminding you of your mortality, your dependence on grace, and your need for daily renewal. Simultaneously, it elevates your perspective, allowing you to see from my vantage point, where impossibilities dissolve under the weight of divine promise. This duality, humility and exaltation, propels you into a freedom unknown to those who refuse to bend their knees. Rekindle your desire for me through disciplined moments of solitude. Seek quiet spaces where you can shut out the din of modern life and allow my spirit to whisper truths that refresh your soul. I cherish these times of hidden intimacy, where your heart quiets to hear my heartbeat. Here, revelations are birthed, guidance is clarified, and burdens are left at my feet. Rejoice, child, for worship is your lifeline to the eternal. As you lift your praises, you join a chorus that spans ages and realms, testifying that I remain sovereign and deeply invested in your story. My beloved one, now I summon you to a place of holy expectancy. Hope, properly anchored in me, is not wishful thinking, but a confident assurance that I will fulfill what I have spoken. This hope functions like a spiritual telescope, bringing distant promises into clearer view, even when immediate evidence is scarce. Feeding on negativity blinds you to my ongoing wonders, whereas feeding on hope awakens you to my infinite possibilities. Archangel Michael heralds the approach of these possibilities, circulating messages of victory throughout the unseen realms. He traverses dimensions to reaffirm that I remain faithful, broadcasting signals of my intention to stand by every word I have given. Even when your natural circumstances appear bleak, the spiritual reality is radiant with the light of impending breakthroughs. Such is the paradox of faith. You cling to a promise not yet visible, sustaining hope by trusting the one who holds time in his hand. To keep hope alive, guard your inner dialogue. What your thoughts rehearse, your spirit eventually believes. Let your inner narrative echo my promises more than the cynicism of a world accustomed to disappointment. Practice pondering my deeds, both ancient and recent, so your heart overflows with the awareness that I consistently transform the improbable into the undeniable. Never belittle small signs of encouragement. A simple sign, an unexpected act of kindness, a conversation that shifts your perspective, or a burst of peace can be evidence of the miracle under construction behind the veil of your senses. These subtle confirmations stand as gentle nudges, indicating that your trajectory aligns with my plan. When you gather them collectively, they form a mosaic that showcases a tapestry of divine orchestration. In waiting seasons, you may find your patience stretched thin. Yet, I use the process of waiting to refine your character and increase your capacity for future blessings. Just as a farmer does not harvest the day after planting, so you must wait until the seeds of promise reach maturity. During this interval, keep watering your faith with prayer, with worship, and with reminders of my unchanging goodness. You may not see immediate fruit, but the roots are deepening beyond the scope of your gaze. Reject the urge to compare your timeline with that of others. Each calling is unique, each journey meticulously tailored to accomplish different facets of my kingdom. Celebrating another's breakthrough is not a threat to your own. On the contrary, it expands your heart to witness how lavishly I bestow gifts upon all who seek me. Generosity of spirit paves the way for multiplied blessings. Rehearse your testimonies, both the dramatic and the ordinary. Share them with others, so that the flame of hope spreads like a wildfire, igniting discouraged hearts. In retelling how I came through, You fortify your own trust and awaken longing in those who have yet to experience my touch. Such storytelling becomes an act of worship, magnifying the nature of a God who pursues humanity with relentless kindness. Rejoice, child, for your story is still unfolding, enriched by each step you take in hopeful anticipation. Stand on the promise that what I have begun in you, I will complete, leaving no chapter unfinished in the grand narrative of redemption. My dear child, as we draw near to the culmination of these reflections, let us not forget the power of thanksgiving. Gratitude is the fertile ground where miracles take root, where the seed of promise transforms into living reality. When you thank me, even before witnessing the outcome, you declare your unwavering trust in my character. This declaration resonates through the spiritual realm like a triumphant anthem, shattering the walls that doubt erect. Archangel Michael, too, witnesses your gratitude, finding fresh vigor whenever he sees your heart brimming with appreciation. Angels understand the significance of thanksgiving, for it is the language of heaven, the currency by which blessings circulate freely. In an atmosphere of gratitude, barriers dissolve, and you develop a perspective that discerns blessings even in challenges. Thus, your soul remains open, ready to receive each divine gift I hold in store. A heart overflowing with thankfulness is the gateway to deeper intimacy with me. True gratitude shifts your focus from personal lack to my overwhelming abundance. Instead of dwelling on what is missing, you exalt the countless ways in which I have already provided. This posture not only honors me, but also refreshes you, for it clears the clutter of worry and ushers in supernatural peace. Thanksgiving also primes you to witness wonders you might otherwise overlook. What some call coincidences are recognized by a grateful spirit as carefully orchestrated blessings. Once you train your eyes to see my involvement in your day-to-day experiences, you become ever more confident that I am with you in every endeavor. Such confidence stirs a perpetual cycle of praise, increasing your faith and preparing you for yet grander expressions of my love. Let your thanksgiving not be confined to words alone. Demonstrate your gratitude through acts of service, acts of kindness, and unwavering commitment to spread hope wherever you go. When you embody thankfulness, you mirror my heart for a hurting world. People will sense the sincerity of a life devoted to the giver more than the gifts, and this will draw them toward the light you carry. Document your blessings, whether small or monumental. Record them in journals, share them in gatherings, and recount them in prayer as living testimonies of my involvement in your journey. Such documentation becomes a treasure trove for future generations, inspiring them to trust me in ways they never believed possible. Know that your gratitude serves as a heritage of faith, passed down through the living pages of your story. Rejoice, beloved one, for your gratitude aligns you with the rhythm of heaven. May each breath be an exhalation of thanks, each day a festival of praise, and each season a testament that I remain constant, unwavering, and eternally benevolent. My precious child, now, as we close these extended reflections, I invite you into the sacred space of prayer. Let your soul be still before me, and let your words rise like incense, carrying every heartbeat of devotion, every whisper of hope, and every plea for divine engagement. Speak without pretense or fear. I know you entirely and welcome every corner of your vulnerability. Come as you are, and find that my arms are wide enough to enfold all your complexities. Offer your sincere prayer to me. Heavenly Father, I draw near, acknowledging that you have searched and known me completely. I thank you for the legion of angels, led by Archangel Michael, who guard my steps against unseen threats. In this moment, I confess my need for your guidance, for I recognize that my wisdom alone falls short of your perfect counsel. Grant me eyes to see your hand in every moment, whether it seems mundane or extraordinary, so I may never overlook the subtleties of your grace. I release my fears into your compassionate care, believing you have mapped out a path far better than I can devise. Teach me to treasure each revelation of truth, each quiet nudge of conviction, knowing they are milestones on the road to spiritual maturity. Lord, I ask you to drench my life with miracles that display the vastness of your power, yet keep my heart always humble in the face of your glory. Strengthen my faith so it remains resilient through any storm, anchored in the unwavering promise that you work all things for the good of those who love you. Reveal yourself anew in my finances, my relationships, my health, and my vocation, proving that no area lies beyond your transformative touch. As I see doors open and answers arrive, let my gratitude be uncontainable, bursting forth in testimony that proclaims your everlasting goodness. May my life serve as a living epistle, read by those seeking hope, illuminating the boundless nature of your love. And when I falter, Lord, remind me that you are the God of new beginnings, ever ready to redeem and restore me. I bless your holy name, confident that your promises endure and that each season carries the potential for miraculous encounters with your mercy. My beloved child, as this divine message draws to a close, know that my love and truth have been poured out for you in every word. Even in the darkest hours when you feel alone, every tear, every silent prayer is precious in my sight. I have woven your journey with purpose and grace, and I promise that no moment of your struggle is wasted. You are chosen, anointed, and destined to rise above every trial. Before you leave this space, carry my promise within your heart. Subscribe and return to this channel time and again, for here you will always find a sanctuary of hope, strength, and everlasting love. Share this message with someone who longs for comfort and transformation, so that together we may light the way in these turbulent times. Now in the comments declare, I belong to God and His love renews me every day. Let your voice echo my truth, drawing others into the warmth of my embrace. Remain steadfast, my child, for my guidance and blessings are ever flowing, and every step you take with me leads to eternal victory. Amen.